Los Angeles in late September was a beast, sweltering days bleeding into nights that clung to your skin like regret. Our dorm room in Hedrick Hall overlooked the sprawl of Westwood Village, all neon signs and palm trees swaying under sodium lamps. But inside, it was just me and Jake, two Midwestern transplants trying to fake it till we made it in this sun-soaked dream factory. I'd come from a sleepy suburb outside Chicago, where football Fridays and church potlucks were the height of excitement. Jake hailed from some nowhere town in Ohio, all cornfields and conservative whispers, but we'd clicked from day one. Him with his easy grin and quarterback build, me with my wiry frame and quick sarcasm. Brothers through and through, or so I'd told myself 1,000 times. That night, though, everything shifted. After the door clicked shut behind him, I yanked on boxers and jeans like they were armor, my mind racing faster than a getaway car. What the hell had just happened? Jake had a key. Hell, we shared everything from notes to nightmares. But barging in unannounced at 2 a.m.? That wasn't like him. I paced the threadbare carpet, the hum of the mini-fridge mocking my paranoia. The room smelled like stale pizza and Axe body spray, our posters of the Killers and vintage Dodgers curling at the edges from the humidity. When he knocked, soft, hesitant, I almost told him to fuck off. But curiosity, that treacherous bastard, won out. "Come in," I called, voice steadier than I felt. Jake slipped inside like a shadow, his broad shoulders hunched, that mop of sandy blonde hair disheveled from whatever late-night escapade had sent him fleeing back here. He was still in his Bruins hoodie and cargo shorts, the ones with the frayed hems from too many hikes up Runyon Canyon. His blue eyes, usually sparkling with mischief, darted everywhere but me, finally settling on the lava lamp we'd salvaged from a flea market. "Dude, I'm so sorry," he started, rubbing the back of his neck, a flush creeping up his tanned skin. "I thought you were out. That party at Sigma Chi Sarah dragged me, but it was lame as hell. Bailed early." Sarah, his on-again, off-again girlfriend from sorority row, all blonde waves and daddy's money. The mention of her name twisted something in my gut, but I shoved it down. "It's cool, man. Water under the bridge. Or steam from the shower, I guess." I forced a laugh, but it came out hollow, echoing the sudden chasm between us. He finally met my gaze, and fuck if it didn't hit like a freight train. There was no awkward bro hug to smooth it over. Instead, his eyes lingered a beat too long on my bare chest where my t-shirt rode up. "You good?" he asked, voice low, like we were sharing state secrets. "Yeah, just." Surprised. I leaned against my desk, arms crossed, trying to play it casual. But my skin prickled under his stare, every nerve ending alive in a way I'd only felt in dreams I never admitted to. We bullshitted for a bit, complaining about Professor Hale's lit midterm, debating if the new season of Euphoria was peak or trash, but the air felt thick, charged like the build-up to a summer storm back home. When he crashed on his bunk across from mine, the silence stretched taut. I lay there in the dark, staring at the glow-in-the-dark stars we'd stuck to the ceiling as a joke, replaying that frozen instant. His eyes tracing the lines of my body, not with revulsion, but with something that mirrored the secret I'd buried deep since high school, the one that whispered Jake's name in the quiet hours. Morning came too soon, sunlight slicing through the blinds like accusatory fingers. Jake was already up, brewing coffee in our ancient Mr. Coffee machine, humming some Foo Fighters tune off-key. He handed me a mug, black, 2 sugars, just how I liked it, our fingers brushing in a spark that made me jerk back. "Last night," he said, not looking up, "that wasn't. I mean, you're my best friend, Tony. Shit like that happens in a shoebox like this." I sipped the coffee, burning my tongue on purpose to ground myself. Yeah, no biggie. But it was. God, it was everything. That afternoon, we hit the gym like always. Weights clanging, sweat mixing with the metallic tang of exertion. Jake spotted me on bench presses, his hands steady under the bar, but when I racked it and sat up, our eyes locked again, and he didn't look away. "You're stronger than you think," he murmured, thumb grazing my shoulder in a touch that lingered. By evening, the campus was buzzing with midterms prep, libraries overflowing with caffeine-fueled zombies. We grabbed tacos from the truck parked outside Powell Library, al pastor for him, carnitas for me, and ate on the steps, watching co-eds in yoga pants hustle by. Jake was quieter than usual, picking at his food, that easy charm dimmed like a bulb on the fritz. "You ever wonder," he said out of nowhere, crumpling his napkin, "what it'd be like if things were different? Like, if we weren't just us?" My heart stuttered. The sunset painted the sky in bruised purples and oranges, casting his face in golden light. Different how? I pressed, though I knew. I fucking knew. He shrugged, but his knee bumped mine, staying there. I dunno. Forget it. But he didn't move away. That night, as rain finally broke the heat wave, pattering against the window like impatient fingers, we watched old episodes of The Office on my laptop, propped between us on the bed. Laughter came easy at first, but midway through the Dundies, his head lolled onto my shoulder. I froze, breath shallow, the weight of him solid and warm. When the credits rolled, he didn't stir. "Jake," I whispered. His eyes fluttered open, inches from mine. "Tony," he breathed, and then his hand was on my cheek, rough palm against stubble, pulling me in. Our lips met, tentative, then desperate, like we'd both been starving for years. It tasted like salt and possibility, his tongue tentative against mine, bodies shifting until I was half under him, the dorm bed creaking in protest. We broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed together. "What the fuck are we doing?" I rasped, but my hands were already fisting his shirt, unwilling to let go. "I don't know," he admitted, voice wrecked. "But I can't stop thinking about last night. About you." The confession hung there, heavy as the rain outside. We didn't go further, not yet, but as he rolled off, leaving a ghost of his warmth, I realized the hook had set deep. That naked vulnerability wasn't just skin. It was the start of us unraveling, thread by thread, into something neither of us could control. The weeks that followed blurred into a fever dream of stolen moments. Study sessions turned into excuses to touch, his foot hooking mine under the table in the undergrad lounge, fingers interlacing during midnight runs along the beach. Jake broke things off with Sarah via text. "It's not you, it's me." And she keyed his truck in retaliation, but he just laughed it off, eyes on me like I was the only plot twist that mattered. We were careful at first, the dorm walls paper thin, whispers of "I like you" exchanged in the laundry room amid the whoosh of dryers. But caution eroded like sandcastles at high tide. One Thursday, after acing our group project on Kerouac, we tumbled back to the room buzzed on cheap tequila from the corner store. Clothes hit the floor in a frenzy, his hoodie, my jeans, until it was skin on skin, urgent and uncharted. Jake's mouth mapped my collarbone, hands exploring with a reverence that made my chest ache. "You're beautiful," he murmured against my hip, and I shattered under him, the world narrowing to gasps and the salt of his sweat. After, tangled in sheets that smelled like us, he traced lazy circles on my stomach. "This scares the shit out of me, Tony. What if?" "Don't." I cut him off, kissing his temple. "We're good. We're us." But doubt was a weed, sprouting in the cracks. Jake started pulling all-nighters at the engineering lab, coming back hollow-eyed and distant. I'd wait up, scrolling X on my phone, heart sinking at every unanswered text. "Just stressed about finals," he'd say, collapsing into bed without a touch. I nodded, but the silence grew, a third roommate we couldn't evict. Then came the party at Delta Tau, frat house thumping with bass, red solo cups, sweating condensation. Jake dragged me there, insisting we act normal, but his hand on my lower back screamed otherwise. In the crush of bodies, I lost him to a game of beer pong, emerging later with a fresh hickey blooming under my collar. Sarah was there, of course, eyes narrowing like daggers when she spotted us laughing too close. "Slumming it now, Jake?" she sneered, loud enough for the circle to hear. He stiffened, arm dropping from my shoulders. "Back off, Sarah." But the damage was done, whispers rippled like smoke. By the time we stumbled back to Hedrick, the high had soured. In the elevator, he punched the wall, knuckles splitting. "This is fucked. Everyone's gonna know." "Let him." I shot back, adrenaline sharp. "I'm not ashamed." His eyes flashed, hurt, anger, fear. "Easy for you to say. You grew up with that artsy family in Chicago. My dad's a deacon, Tony. If he finds out." The words landed like a slap. I retreated to our room, stripping down without a word. The vulnerability of that first night weaponized now. He followed, apology dying on his lips as I faced him, bare and unyielding. "Then what are we doing?" He crossed the space in 2 strides, crushing me against the door, kiss bruising and desperate. We fell into it again. Fiercer, reclaiming what the world threatened, but as he whispered my name like a prayer, I tasted the lie. This wasn't freedom. It was a cage we'd built together. Fall semester dragged into November, the campus transforming under a rare chill. leaves crunching underfoot on Bruin Walk, scarves knotted against the bite. Jake and I navigated our new normal like tightrope walkers. Public high-fives masking private goodbyes, his truck idling at the curb for quick makeouts before I dashed to class. It was exhilarating, this double life, romance wrapped in secrecy, every glance a stolen diamond. But secrets have weight, and ours was starting to bow our spines. Thanksgiving loomed like a guillotine. Jake's family expected him home in Ohio, turkey and tolerance in equal measure. "Come with," he begged one night, our legs entwined on his bed, the room lit by the flicker of his laptop playing some indie flick we'd forgotten the plot of. His fingers combed through my hair, voice soft with that Midwestern drawl that always undid me. I laughed, nuzzling his neck where his pulse thrummed. "Yeah, right. Hi, Mr. Harlan, pass the yams. Oh, by the way, I'm sleeping with your son." He tensed, hand stilling. "It's not like that. Dad's cool. Mostly. But I knew the stories. The time Jake's older brother got caught with weed and was shipped to conversion camp. The sermons railing against the gay agenda over pot roast. I'll be fine here," I said, forcing lightness. "Binge Netflix, hit the beach. Solo vibes." He relented, but the goodbye at LAX was a gut punch. His hug too tight, kiss hidden in the shadows of the parking garage. "Text me everything," he murmured, and I did. Photos of empty plates, memes about turkey comas. His replies trickled in. Family pics scrubbed of tension, captions like "home sweet awkward." I spent the holiday crashing with my roommate's family in Pasadena. Liberal Jews who plied me with lax and asked zero questions about my friend back east. But by Sunday, boredom gnawed, so I wandered Venice Beach, boardwalk alive with buskers and burnout skaters. That's when my phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. "Saw your boy at the airport bar. Cozy with some dude. Thought you should know. A friend of Sarah's." Attached was a blurry pic. Jake, arms slung around a guy's shoulders, tall, dark-haired, laughing over beers. My stomach plummeted, the Pacific crashing like mockery. Who the fuck was that? I zoomed in, heart hammering. But the image was grainy, the guy's face half obscured. Jake's expression? Ambiguous, brotherly, flirty? I didn't text him. Instead, I drove to the pier, salt wind whipping my face as I chain-smoked menthols I swore I'd quit. Paranoia bloomed. Was this payback from Sarah? Or worse, truth? We'd never defined us, not really. Exclusive, hung, unspoken, a ghost in the room. He landed Monday night, bursting into the dorm with a duffel and a grin, bear hugging me until ribs creaked. "Missed you, asshole." His kiss was fire, needy, claiming, but I pulled back, the photo burning in my pocket. We ordered Thai, sprawled on the floor with takeout boxes, but my appetite fled. "Good trip?" I asked, casual as a loaded gun. "Yeah," till Dad grilled me about future plans. He rolled his eyes, chopsticks poised over pad CEW. "Boring as hell. How about you? Survive without me?" The opening yawned. "Ran into some drama. Got a text about you at the airport." His fork paused midair. "What? Some guy? Beers." Laughing it up, I slid my phone across, the pic glaring up like evidence. Jake's face drained of color, then flushed beet red. Fuck, Tony, that's my cousin Mike. From Cleveland. Layover drama. Ran into him by chance. Nothing happened. Cousin. Relief flooded me, hot and humiliating. Shit, sorry. Sarah's crew stirring shit. He snatched the phone, deleting the thread with a swipe. They're vultures. But hey. He tugged me close, lips brushing my ear. "Only you, okay? Always." We made love that night slow and deliberate, like sealing a pact, his body arching under mine, breath sinking in the dim glow of streetlights filtering through blinds. "I love you," he gasped as we crested, the words slipping out unplanned, raw as an open wound. I echoed them back, tasting truth on my tongue, but sleep evaded me after, his snores a counterpoint to my whirling thoughts. Love. In 4 months, from naked shock to this? It felt too fast, too fragile, like a sand mandala waiting for the tide. Winter quarter hit like a hangover. Exams piling up, Jake buried in circuits homework, me drowning in poetry seminars. We carved out escapes, drives up the coast to Malibu, windows down, his hand on my thigh as we blasted Springsteen. One foggy afternoon, parked at El Matador Beach, waves gnashing like teeth below, he turned to me with that serious look, the one that crinkled his eyes. "Move in with me after graduation. Off-campus apartment. Real life, Tony. Us." My throat tightened. Graduation was May, The world beyond UCLA a blank canvas smeared with question marks. I dreamed of grad school in New York, journalism, gigs, chasing stories in the concrete jungle. Jake, tech job in Silicon Valley, suits and stability. That's huge. I managed, heart swelling. Yeah, God, yeah. He kissed me there, salt air mingling with his cologne, and for a moment, the future glittered, domesticated, ours. But crack spiderwebbed. Jake's phone buzzed more, text from study group that lit his face in ways mine didn't. Late nights stretched, excuses layering like varnish. I confronted him once, after finding a receipt for drinks at a bar in WeHo, West Hollywood, the gay mecca we joked about hitting but never did. Networking, he claimed, avoiding my eyes. Internship leads. I let it slide, but doubt festered. Then came the night of the winter formal, campus decked in twinkling lights, punch spiked with rum. We went as bros, but under the stars in the quad, his hand slipped into mine behind a topiary. Dancing to some pop remix, bodies close, he whispered promises, forever, rings maybe someday. Sarah crashed the after-party, drunk and venomous, cornering me in the kitchen. He'll leave you, you know, for something real. Like me. Her laugh was glass shards. Enjoy the scraps. I shoved past, finding Jake in the backyard, deep in conversation with that same dark-haired guy from the photo. Mike? No, this was different. Leaner, with tattoos snaking up his arm. They hugged goodbye, Jake's hand lingering on the small of his back. Who's that? I demanded later, in the truck, jealousy a live wire. Friend from high school. Visiting. Chill, Tony. But I didn't. That night, back in the dorm, I stripped again, deliberate this time, standing in the moonlight slash from the window. See me? I said, voice steady. All of me. He crossed the room, eyes darkening, but hesitation flickered. What if we fuck this up? Then we fix it. I pulled him down, bodies colliding in a storm of need and fear. It was cathartic, tears mixing with sweat, his sobs muffled against my shoulder as we clung. I can't lose you, he admitted, breaking me open. We didn't. Not yet. But as spring bloomed, jacarandas painting sidewalks purple, the noose tightened. Jake's internship interviews ramped up, trips to the Bay Area becoming weekends away. Come visit, he'd say, but my shifts at the campus coffee shop chained me down. One April Friday, he returned early, face ashen, dropping his bag with a thud. We need to talk. The words iced my veins. He paced, words tumbling. Pressure from home, confusion about the path God intended, a letter from his dad hinting at suspicions. I love you, Tony. But this, it's tearing me apart. Betrayal hit like vertigo, not infidelity, but abandonment. So what? We ended. Because it's hard. No. He grabbed my hands, desperate. Just pause. Figure shit out. Pause. The word echoed, hollow. I nodded, numb, and he left for the couch, the space between us a chasm wider than the Pacific. The pause stretched like taffy, sticky, interminable, turning our dorm into a minefield of averted eyes and polite nods. Jake slept on the futon we'd dragged in from storage, its springs groaning like accusations. Mornings were rituals of avoidance. Him slipping out for coffee runs, me lingering in the shower until the hot water ran cold. The room, once our sanctuary, reeked of unspoken grief, his cologne fading from the pillows, my side of the closet echoing empty. Campus life marched on, oblivious. Finals week a blur of all-nighters in the Clark Library, where I buried myself in Eliot's wasteland verses, finding solace in their fractured beauty. Jake threw himself into lab work, emerging zombie-like with coffee stains on his hoodies. We coexisted, ghosts in shared skin, but the tension hummed, electric as a storm front. Sarah, that harbinger of havoc, circled like a shark scenting blood. She cornered me outside my lit class one drizzly Tuesday, umbrella dripping malice. Heard you two hit a snag. Smart move, Anthony. Jake's always been too chicken shit for the real world. Fuck off. I snarled, shouldering past, but her words lodged like shrapnel. Was she right? Had I pushed too hard, too soon? That night, I broke first, cracking open a beer from our mini-fridge, offering him one across the divide. Truce. The can hissed open, foam spilling like tears. He took it, slumping beside me on the floor, backs to the bed frame. I'm sorry. This isn't fair to you. Tell me what's really going on. My voice cracked, vulnerability a blade's edge. He stared at the label, peeling it slow. Dad called. Knows about Sarah dumping me. Hinted at. Fixing things. Set me up with his colleague's daughter over summer. A bitter laugh. Like it's that easy. And the pause? That's your fix. His eyes met mine, stormy, shattered. I want you. Every fucking day, I wake up wanting you. But the guilt, it's eating me alive. I reached for his hand, thumb stroking knuckles scarred from punching walls. We fight it together. Or not at all. The dam burst then, him collapsing into me, sobs racking that unbreakable frame. I held him, murmuring nonsense about road trips and rainy days, until exhaustion claimed us, tangled on the carpet like wreckage washed ashore. Reconciliation was tentative, a brush of lips over breakfast, his head on my lap during movie marathons. But trust was a bruise, tender to the touch. Jake started therapy, discreet sessions at the student health center, coming back with dog-eared pamphlets on coming out and faith reconciliation. I attended one as his support, sitting silent as the counselor unpacked Jake's internalized shame, layers peeled back like onion skin. You're brave, I told him after, driving to In-N-Out for animal-style fries as reward. The sun dipped low, gilding the 405 in amber. He snorted, ketchup on his chin. Braves getting naked in front of your best friend. This is just surviving. That image, our origin, drew a laugh from me, genuine and light. Worth it. Spring break arrived, a reprieve. We fled to Big Sur, Jake's truck devouring Highway 1, windows down, wind howling freedom. The cabin was rustic, redwoods towering, ocean roaring below, rented cheap off Craigslist. Days blurred. Hikes to McWay Falls, where mist kissed our skin. Nights by the fire, his body slotted against mine, stories spilling like sparks. One evening, as seals barked on the rocks below, Jake pulled a ring from his pocket. Not diamond, but a simple silver band etched with coordinates. Our dorm latitude. Not marriage. Not yet. But a promise. To choose us. Every time. Tears pricked my eyes as I slid it on. Cool metal warming to my skin. Every time. We made love under the stars that night. Urgent and reverent. The universe witness to our vow. Back on campus, Boyd, we tested waters. Holding hands in the emptier summer sessions. Jake introducing me as my guy to a lab buddy who didn't blink. But betrayal brews in shadows. It came via email. An anonymous forward from Jake's family account. Screenshots of our texts, explicit ones from that tequila night. Forwarded by God knows who. We know what you're doing, the note read. Come home. Get help. Jake's face crumpled when he saw it. Forwarding chain tracing back to Sarah. Hacked phone, petty revenge. She's ruined everything. No, I said, pulling him close in the counseling office. Walls thin but holding. She exposed the rot. Now we burn it. He came out to his parents that weekend. FaceTime from our room, voice steady as rebar. I'm gay, Dad. And happy. Anthony's the reason. Silence stretched, then his father's voice, gruff. We love you, son. But this. We'll pray. Click. The fallout was seismic. Jake's grades tanked. Isolation creeping as whispers spread. I rallied, dragging him to pride events in WeHo, where rainbows draped the streets, drag queens lip-syncing Gaga under club lights. There, amid the glitter and grind, he danced with abandon, hand in mine, the world a blur of acceptance. Yet doubt lingered. During finals, I caught him staring at his phone. Text from Mike, the cousin who'd morphed into something more, an ex from high school, just catching up. Innocent? Maybe, but the secrecy stung. Confrontation erupted post-exams, suitcases half-packed for summer. Who's he really? I demanded, waving the thread I'd glimpsed. Jake deflated. Old flame. Reached out after the email. Wanted to. Talk. Or more. Jealousy clawed, irrational but real. Nothing happened, but guilt shadowed his eyes. I was scared, Tony. Needed someone who got it from the start. Betrayal, not physical, but emotional, sliced deep. So, I was the experiment. The dorm room fling. No, God, no. He grabbed my arms, desperate. You're everything. But I fucked up. Let me fix it. I wrenched free, storming out into the muggy night, Westwood alive with graduation prep. Bars overflowed with caps and gowns, laughter mocking my unraveling. Hours later, I returned to find him on the floor, ring clutched in fist. Don't leave, he begged. That night you were naked, vulnerable. It broke me open, showed me what I wanted. You. Tears streamed as I sank beside him. Then stop hiding. All of it. We talked till dawn, raw, unfiltered, vowing transparency, Therapy doubles. Summer split us. Me interning at the Daily Bruin, him in Ohio for reconciliation. Texts flew. Miss your laugh. Send nudes? His. Only if you promise forever. Fall senior year dawned golden, us stronger, forged in fire. But the high tide of conflict crested when his dad arrived unannounced. Barrel-chested preacher in khakis, eyes like Judgment Day. He cornered Jake in the quad, Bible thumping against palm. This abomination ends now. I stepped in, voice steel. With respect, sir, your son's a man. And he loves me. The man faltered, glimpsing the ring on Jake's finger. Love. Disbelief warred with something softer. Regret? That night, over lukewarm pizza in our room, Jake's dad extended a hand. I was wrong. Prayed on it. Not full absolution, but a crack in the wall. As winter chill returned, our bond deepened. Study dates in the Hammer Museum, quiet dinners at hole-in-the-wall Ticarius. Jake's smiles came easier, my doubts quieter. Yet the specter of graduation loomed, my New York dreams versus his Valley stability. Commencement weekend erupted in a frenzy of blue and gold pomp. Families swarming Sproul Plaza, air thick with sunscreen and sops. Jake and I walked the stage hours apart, his whoop echoing when my name boomed over speakers. Anthony Rivera. Diploma in hand, I scanned the crowd, finding him in the sea, grinning like I'd hung the moon. The ceremony blurred into after-parties, rooftop bars in Santa Monica, waves crashing below as we toasted with IPAs. His dad attended, awkward but present, clapping Jake on the back with a gruff, "Proud of you, son." Sarah lurked on the fringes, but her barbs glanced off, our armor thicker now. Post-grad haze settled, job offers piling like autumn leaves. I landed a junior reporter gig at a Brooklyn alt weekly, ink-stained freedom in the city that never sleeps. Jake, entry-level software engineer at a startup in Palo Alto, coding the future one line at a time. Long distance, he joked over packing boxes, but his eyes pleaded. We compromised. Weekends alternating coasts, FaceTime foreplay sustaining the fire. Our last night in the dorm, stripped bare, metaphorically and otherwise, we lay on the empty mattress, echoes of 4 years pressing in. That door slamming open, Jake murmured, fingers tracing my spine. Best accident ever. I chuckled, throat tight. Changed everything. Yeah. He kissed my shoulder, voice thick. For the better. Moving day was chaos. U-Haul stuffed with posters, books, that damn lava lamp. Jake's truck headed north, mine east, a caravan of what-ifs. At the In-N-Out off the 101, we devoured burgers one last time, grease-slick fingers interlacing. Call when you land, he said, pulling me into a kiss that tasted like farewell and forever. New York swallowed me whole. Subway rumbles, skyline teeth gnashing at dawn. My walk up in Bushwick smelled of curry from neighbors, walls thin as promises. Nights, I'd scroll our texts, heart aching for his laugh. Jake's messages lit my screen, labs a grind. Miss your sarcasm. Photos of his shoebox apartment, bed unmade, inviting. First visit, him flying in for Labor Day, LaGuardia madhouse. We crashed at my place, tiny kitchen, fire escape views of graffiti walls. Days blurred, Central Park picnics, his hand in mine unapologetic. Nights tangled in sheets too small for two. This works, he whispered post-climax, sweat cooling on skin. We work. But distance is a thief, pilfering inches. His calls shortened, deadline crunch, mine laced with exhaustion from 80-hour weeks. Doubts resurfaced. A work happy hour where a cute photographer flirted, guilt gnawing as I rebuffed. Jake confessed a similar slip. A bar pickup line dodged, but the temptation admitted. We need rules, I said during a rainy October FaceTime, his face pixelated, longing etched. No bullshit. Check-ins. Visits. Done. His smile warmed the screen. Love you, reporter boy. Thanksgiving pulled him west. Family tensions thawed to tentative peace, his mom sending care packages of Buckeyes and bad puns. I joined for Christmas, Ohio snow blanketing the Harlan homestead like absolution. Jake's dad shook my hand firm. Welcome, son. Dinner was roast beef and revelations. Stories of his own hidden doubts, a cousin lost to AIDS in the 80s, regret fueling his rigidity. Your family now, his mom hugged me after, apple pie warm in my veins. New Year's in Times Square, confetti blizzard, his arms my anchor amid the crush. Resolutions whispered, closer, always. Spring brought trials. Jake's startup imploded, layoffs slashing his confidence. Failure, he vented over a red-eye visit, head in my lap on the couch. I stroked his hair, quoting Whitman, "Not till the sun excludes you do I exclude you." He laughed wet-eyed. Nerd. But he stayed the week, pounding pavement for gigs, crashing my freelance hustles. My turn came summer. Editor quit, leaving me adrift in freelance purgatory. Jake drove down from a temp job in LA, scooping me for a road trip. Route 66 Redux, motels with neon buzz, his guitar strumming folk tunes at dusty diners. In the Grand Canyon shadow, under star-pricked sky, he proposed. Not on bended knee, but cross-legged on a blanket, ring glinting. "Marry me, Tony. Make the distance bullshit." Tears blurred the vista. Yes, 1,000 times. Wedding was small. June, Brooklyn rooftop, rain threatening but holding. Jake in linen suit, me in chinos, his dad officiating, voice cracking on vows. Vows we wrote. From naked truth to this. I choose you, every exposed inch. Honeymoon in Provincetown. Cape Cod queers and clam bakes, bikes weaving dune paths. Mornings lazy, his head on my chest. Evenings dancing to buskers, bodies synced like heartbeats. Back to reality. Compromise struck, me relocating to the Bay, hybrid gig with a San Francisco Mac. Our apartment in Oakland overlooked the estuary, Bay bridges twinkling like promises kept. Days. Him coding, me chasing stories on immigrant dreams and tech dystopias. Nights. Cooking pasta, arguing politics, making love with the familiarity of old souls. Years folded. Promotions, a dog named Scout, after Atticus's kin. Pride floats where we waved from convertibles. Conflicts came. His workaholic slips, my wanderlust flares, but we talked them raw. Therapy, a monthly ritual. One anniversary, back in that UCLA dorm, rented for nostalgia, door propped open mockingly. We stripped slow, recreating the spark. Laughter mingled with moans, his eyes on me fierce. That moment saved me. Made us, I corrected, pulling him close. In the quiet after, city hum outside, I traced his ring, tarnished now, but enduring. Life wasn't fairy tale, it was human, flawed, fervent, achingly real. Betrayals healed into scars, conflicts to compassion. We'd changed everything that night, not just between us, but within, from boys hiding to men claiming love, unashamed. And in America's vast, varied heart, from dorm room shock to rooftop yes, we found home. In each other.